Welcome back to the book of Genesis. We are going to be reading chapter 32 today. So let's get this. Esau comes to meet Jacob. So Jacob went on his way, and the angels of God met him. When Jacob saw them, he said, "This is God's camp," and he called the name of this place Mahanaim. Then Jacob sent messengers before him to Esau his brother in the land of Seir, the country of Edom. And he commanded them, saying, "Speak thus to my lord Esau. Thus your servant Jacob says, I have sojourned with Laban and stayed there until now. I have oxen, donkeys, flocks, male, female servants I have sent to tell my lord that I may find favor in your sight." Then the messengers returned to Jacob, saying, "We came to your brother Esau, and he also is coming to meet you, and 400 men are with him." Verse 7. So Jacob was greatly afraid and distressed, and he divided the people that were with him and the flocks and the herds and camels into two companies. Verse 8. And he said, "If Esau comes to the one company and attacks them, then the other company which is left will escape." Then Jacob said, "O God of my father Abraham, and God of my father Isaac, the Lord who said to me, 'Return to your country and to your kindred, and I will deal well with you.' I am not worthy of the least of all the mercies and of all the truth which you have shown your servant. For I crossed over this Jordan with my staff, and now I have become two companies." Verse 11. "Deliver me, I pray, from the hand of my brother, from the hand of Esau, for I fear him, lest he come and attack me and the mother of the children. For you said, I will surely treat you well and make your descendants as the sand of the sea, which cannot be numbered for multitude." Verse 13. So he lodged there that same night and took what came to his hand as a present for Esau his brother: 200 female goats and 20 male goats, 200 ewes and 20 rams. Verse 15. 30 milk camels with their colts, 40 cows, 10 bulls, 20 female donkeys, and 10 foals. Verse 16. Then he delivered them to the hands of his servant, every drove by itself. And he said to his servants, "Pass over before me, and put some distance between successive droves." And he commanded the first one, saying, "When Esau my brother meets you and asks you, saying, 'To who do you belong? Where are you going? Whose are those in front of you?' Then you shall say, 'They are your servant Jacob's. It is his present sent to my lord Esau, and behold, he also is behind us." Verse 19. So he commanded the second, the third, and all who followed the droves, saying, "In this manner you shall speak to Esau when you find him." Verse 20. And also saying, "Behold, your servant Jacob is behind us. For he said, I will appease him with the presence that goes before me, and afterwards I will see his face, perhaps he will accept me." So the present went on over before him, and he himself lodged that night in the camp. Verse 22. Wrestling with God. And he arose that night and took his 2 wives and his 2 maidservants and his 11 sons, and crossed over the ford of the Jabbok. He took them, sent them over the brook, and sent them over what he had. Then Jacob was left alone, and a man wrestled with him until the breaking of day. Now when he saw that, he did not prevail against him. He touched the socket of his hip, and the socket of Jacob's hip was out of joint as he wrestled with him. And he said, "Let me go, For the day breaks, but he said, I will not let you go unless you bless me. So he said to him, What is your name? And he said, Jacob. Verse 28. And he said, Your name shall no longer be called Jacob, but Israel, for you have struggled with God and with men and have prevailed. Then Jacob asked him, saying, Tell me your name, I pray. And he said, Why is it that you ask about my name? And he blessed him there. Verse 30, And Jacob called the name of the place Peniel, for I have seen God face to face, and my life is preserved. Just as he crossed over the Peniel River, the sun rose on him, and he limped on his hip. Therefore to this day the children of Israel do not eat the muscle of that shank which is on the hip socket, because he touched the socket of Jacob's hip in the muscle of the shank. And that is the end of verse 32. So we see Esau coming to meet Jacob, and Jacob is worried about that because he and Esau do not get along. Jacob stole from Esau in the beginning, and Esau got a raw deal. But Jacob is the promised son, and we see wrestling with God. So he gets literally into a wrestling match with God, and he gets hurt. His hip joint is popped out. And it was at this time that the Lord blessed him and changed his name to Israel. So Abraham, his grandfather, is basically the inventor, to my understanding, of religion of Judaism. Isaac is the father of the Jewish people. And then Jacob, whose name is changed to Israel, is the 12 tribes that make up the land of Israel, the country of Israel, the people of Israel. So, quite interesting. We're just continuing on through the book of Genesis. In our next video, we will tackle chapter 33. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. And I will be back very, very soon with another chapter in the book of Genesis. Thanks for watching, and God bless.